Hello, my name is Mariana, and today this is a reading for Cancer. So, Cancer, as usual, I'm doing this reading with my own tarot deck, so the cards that you see are from this deck. Um, so I'm smiling here because the bottom of the deck card is already speaking to me, and it's so Cancerian, is so your nature, is so your loving essence. Because let me show you. It's the Ace of Cups. So you are connecting to your heart, and you are, it's almost like you're fine tuning, going through certain obstacles so that you can reach this higher potential of your ability, either to surpass or like overcome certain obstacles and not let them um like pull you down or make you like not believe in yourself or not trust in yourself. It's like you seem to be very decided. You seem to be very sure of who you are and your abilities, and it's almost like the perfect timing on like how or when or with whom to use it. It's all about like knowing when to open yourself and knowing when to close yourself. But because there are certain obstacles that require like this agile thought process so that it doesn't overwhelm you. So, Cancer, let's begin with the Eight of Wands. So, first of all, before this card came through, the thought that was running through my mind was about occupying your place, occupying your role. It's like just taking your spot, owning your, like, who you are, right? Taking your place, your rightful place in a sense. And I do feel like that is almost like the underlying, because on the surface, it's like there are a lot of things to deal with, right? Talking about like a lot of agile, fast, quick decisions to be made. Sometimes I see the Eight of Wands as the obstacle course, and this time I'm seeing this today for you. But the thing about this obstacle course, it's almost like you know it in advance. You know it before it comes, because it's almost like you're very quickly making decisions. That's the reason why I do feel like you are, it's like you're right on point. Your mind is so agile so that you can face these obstacle courses and ace them all, right? It's like you won't let the, like the bigness of it, or it's like you won't let the amount of stuff, right, just overwhelm you, because it could with the Eight of Swords. I want to say that with these two cards, it's almost like you could easily see the Eight of Wands instead of something like almost like this fast track type of escalator. But it's not the escalator. The image that is coming through is like those escalators that are not necessarily going up. It's like they're just going forward, right? Usually in airports there are stuff like that. So this is how I'm seeing this, or like what is the word? A treadmill, right? It's like this um what is the word of that thing? Like this flat type of mat. What is that thing? I have no idea, but you know what I mean, right? So there is this fast tracking that is happening here with the Eight of Wands, something that wants to just like skip you forward, right? But you need to, it's almost like you cannot just jump to the other side, or to the end of the line, or to the beginning of the line, if that makes sense. But it's like you cannot just skip this, right? It's like you have to it's almost like you have to do like this le parkour type of obstacle. It's like you have to be in each obstacle, right? You have to be in each challenge. It's not like you can just overlook them and not see them. It's like you have to, but if you have like this momentum going, right? And that's the reason why it won't overwhelm you, because it's almost like you have a plan not to let this bunch of things, right, that you need to cross through or that you need to pass through. It's like you won't let them get to your mind, or take the best from your decision making, right? It's like you're preparing in advance because you know that it would overwhelm you. So it's almost like, yes, you can see that there are a few things to tackle, right? And you cannot ignore one of them. It's like, or any of them. It's like you have to do everything, you have to go through all of them, but you're being fast tracked because you're planning in advance. And because of that, it's almost like you have this swoosh, you have this wind pushing you forward, right? And here, what it does, it's almost like it helps you to focus in each one of these tasks, or each one of these obstacles, in a sense that it's like you have this ability to put aside all of the others while you are giving your full attention to each one individually, right? With the Nine of Wands, it's like one step after the Eight of Wands, but here it's almost like the other, right? The rest of the wands, the rest of the tasks, they have been put aside so that you have this open course, this open track, right? This fast track, because you are learning how to prepare in advance and to prioritize, right? This is what this Nine of Wands is saying. It has nothing to do with the traditional meaning, and it also has nothing to do with the Path of Flowers that I typically see with this card. In fact, it's just talking about knowing how to prioritize, because that's it's almost like that. What is that saying? Um, when Moses opened the seas, parting the seas, parting the waters. It's almost like that, right? Or it's almost like there is this opening that you, in these small things, in these day-to-day kind of stuff, it's like you manage to prioritize certain things so that they don't overwhelm you, right? It's almost like the opposite of the traditional Eight of Swords or the Nine of Wands. You don't feel drained, you don't feel exhausted, you don't feel like you don't have the energy to do the rest because you're disorganized or something like that. No, in fact, it's like you're so privy to this, you're so aware this would eventually overwhelm you, energetically and mentally, that you will not let this come to this stage, or you won't let this reach this level of losing control of your own energy or your own decisions, right? It's like, because when we are so exhausted, it's almost like there's nothing that we can do. It's almost like we don't have options other than just rest, which is interesting because we're ending here with the rest card, which is the Four of Swords. But it's almost like that if you organize yourself and tackle all of these things beforehand, it's almost like rest will come in due time, right? But before, you have to it's almost like you have to perfect your own skills in not letting the amount of work, the amount of things to do, the amount of things to decide overwhelm you, right? Because you are aware that they would in any other case, right? If you didn't prepare in advance. So here you are showing up in a very eloquent way, in a very it's like in this knowingness, you're stepping into this knowingness with the King of Swords, that it's like you are in control of your decisions. You're not going to let the fast pace, or again, like how things are moving so quickly and in such a huge amount of information or stuff to decide or stuff to do. It's like there's a lot, but you know that you are, it's like, because you're organizing yourself, you are being fast tracked, but it's almost like you have complete awareness that this is all happening, right? It's not something that is just happening and you're being taken, because you're lucky to be fast tracked or anything like that. No, it's like you're creating your it's like your it's almost like now that I'm thinking of the priority here, when in supermarkets or grocery stores, or I don't even know, like uh malls, do they have that? Perhaps priority lines, right? It's like you're creating your own priority lane, because in a sense if you didn't it's like if you didn't prioritize your own decision making process with all of this. It's like you have control of your, like, of what stresses you out, of what overwhelms you, of like the negative thinking that would be like predominant if you didn't prepare it in advance. It's almost like I'm thinking of like a video that I saw once. I can't remember the name of the woman that was doing the video, but she has, I think she has a big channel on highly sensitive persons or people. Um, she is Swedish, I think. I can't remember. She's blonde and she's so sweet. Anyways, so the message in the video was talking about how highly sensitive people can prepare in advance if they know that they're going to be in situations that can overwhelm them, right? It's almost like this: you, Cancer, know now that these fast things, they could indeed overwhelm you. So because of that, because you know that you cannot avoid this, right? You cannot skip the line, you have to go through this. It's like you're not going to, I'm thinking just like, being in a crowded place, for instance. It's like you're prioritizing your stuff, and the effect that it has, at least in your mind, is that you are being fast tracked, is that you are opening up your own priority lane. And so because of that, it's almost like you're not taking any burden of the situation that could, you know, otherwise indeed burn you. So, or burden you, because it's too much, right? So it's interesting how these first four cards, the opening and the three next, they're all pointing to like kind of like this very ordinary type of daily thing, right? It's not something very remarkable. It's not something that is that it's like that you're going to remember. It's almost like it's just a regular thing, right? It's like you're just taking care of your stuff in your day. But then the effect that it has, maybe because you're doing this constantly or consistently, the next cards, they are talking about how actually this has this almost like this natural like a natural progress of like you becoming like this expert in knowing how to control your emotions, control your energy, control your thoughts, so that the external things don't overwhelm you. Because look at this, how amazing. We have the Empress and the Emperor side by side. And I don't think I ever saw these two cards together, at least not as I'm seeing them right now for you, Cancer. Because the way that I'm seeing the Empress, I'm seeing like the ability to open up your energy, open up to receive, right? To be receptive to stuff. And I do feel like that's the reason why all of this is coming through, is because you are ready to receive. But when it's like when enough is enough, in a sense, or when you have embraced a lot, right? Because I mean, we are in the lunar cycle of Taurus, right? So it's all about the abundance. So perhaps there is a lot to be done, like, work wise, or, practical things in your day to day. And the Empress also talks about Taurus. But it's just talking about like the amount of abundant things, right? It's like the abundance overall, like in general. It's like it's in every aspect of your life. It's like there's abundance of, right? Dot dot dot, whatever you want to fill that up. So it's like you know that you have room, right, in your energy, in your field, in your environment, in your space, right, in your home perhaps, to embrace a certain amount of challenges. It's not exactly challenges, it's almost like things to do, right? Tasks, things to accomplish, small things, not big things. But overall, when they add up, they are informing this higher self of yours. It's almost like this is your ability to manage abundance, right? It's like, how do you perceive abundance in your life? Because the Empress, just talking, it's the same thing, it's the same energy. And perhaps, Cancer, now that I'm thinking of the feminine and the masculine here with the Empress and the Emperor, it's almost like you're managing very well, and that's the reason why you're so in control of your thoughts. It's because you are, it's like you have in balance these two sides of yourself, right? But like in a higher level, in this higher realm. So that's the reason why you know exactly when you're ready to receive more. It's almost like more, what is the name of that thing? Um, it's like it's like when you're being hired for something, right? More like more requests for like doing stuff, right? For work, for instance, more clients or more projects, or whatever it is. So you're ready to receive, but the moment that you're full, or the moment that it's not like exactly full, the moment that you know that this is the amount that you can handle without distressing yourself, without becoming overwhelmed, right? It's like you say, okay, now I'm going to put aside all of this and I'm going to start the work, right? Maybe this is almost like receiving orders, and then here you put them aside and you're going to tackle now each one. And so the moment that you say, it's like, this is the open sign on the door, right? And then the emperor is saying, okay, now we have enough, now we have to do the work. And so let's put the closed sign on the door so that people don't bring in more orders. And then it's almost like there is this beautiful mechanism of like knowing when to open yourself to receive more orders or more things coming at you or coming towards you, and then closing yourself because you know that you have enough, right? It's like knowing how to manage all of this abundance, and knowing how this brings you this peace of mind, I want to say, because it's almost like it's not going to overwhelm you because you know when is the time to rest, right? It's like when you put this close sign on your door, it's almost like here you're saying, okay, now it's time for me to rest, because whenever I'm done with this work, I'm going to open up again and more work is going to come, or more, I'm just using the word work because it's easier, but it could be anything really, like more stuff to do. Um, and here it's like that this, maybe before you reach this level of, because I'm seeing this as a dance, right? A beautiful dance of like opening up your wings and then closing and opening and closing. It's very it's almost like breathing, right? It's so gorgeous. It's almost like it's nonstop. It's like you have entered this rhythm that feels very um it feels like you can handle everything, like a lot, all at once, because you're not going to become overstressed or overwhelmed, or whatever the Eight of Swords, even the Nine of Wands could be, right? If you didn't know, like it's like practically, if you didn't know how to prioritize your energy, your focus, your attention, it's like you wouldn't reach this level, right? Because it's almost like these tiny little things in your day to day, they are adding up to this higher level. So you are, in a sense, becoming very, it's like very experienced, very, it's like you know when to say yes and you know when to say no. And you know when to say like I'm done with work, I need to rest. Because it's almost like you're doing all of this and you're taking on a lot, right? Maybe a lot for like what previously you didn't. It's like you couldn't, right? If you it's like just analyzing your situation where you are right now. It's like, previously, maybe months before or years before this, it's like the amount of stuff that was here for you to resolve or for you to sort out, um it's like it would overwhelm you, but now the same amount is not. It's just it's comfortable, right? It's like you are at ease, you are at peace. This is the sensation that I'm having with the Four of Swords, because your heart is at peace, right? It's like you are so in tune with your heart. It's like the breathing, right? It's like this the beating of the heart is in tune with the breathing of the body. So it's like your body, at least etherically, it's like it's so in tune. It's almost like I'm seeing this. It's so gorgeous because maybe this is also part of what you do here. right? It's like you analyze like what you are able to do now, what you are so in charge now of your decisions, of your maybe mental health, right? So because you know that you have time, yes, there is a lot of work. Before, you wouldn't have been able to handle all of this. You would have been like completely overwhelmed. Um, but it's like now you know when to prioritize also this restful moment, because it's almost like you are, it's more than just a dance, right? It's more than just your body. I'm seeing this as almost like coordinating an orchestra, right? It's like these two are, which, you know, it's one picture, but in two different motions. It's like I'm seeing the movement of, the head of an orchestra, right? The maestro here. It's like they are just conducting the orchestra, and it's almost like moving to the side, right? Here with the Nine of Wands, moving to the side one part of the stuff, and then moving to the other side, the other part of the stuff, and then, opening up space and then closing. It's like just, it's so gorgeous. It's really, really beautiful. And then giving yourself time to perfect that, because it's almost like in your restful moment you are thinking about how you're managing all of that, because before you couldn't. So there is also a little bit of this, it's like this beautiful analysis of how you are, it's like how you are learning to receive and to also use your abundance, right? Make use of it. It's not just receive, receive, receive just to accumulate. It feels like it has this, it's always flowing, right? It's very organic. Um, okay, so Cancer, I am going to pull more cards for you to see where this is going. And also, I'm going to pull from the astrological runes in the extended reading. So if you want to join me there, I'll be very happy to see you. You can find link down below. If not, I'll see you next time. Bye.